Depression is very real, as real as you can imagine. You're welcome to my channel, guys. Welcome to Lifestyle and Inspiration with Precious. You know what I do on this channel? I basically just share my experiences, okay? Past and present. Just so that somebody can be inspired, or better still, someone can learn from my experience. It's possible that someone might be going through what I've gone through in the past, so sharing my experience will just make the person know that you are not alone on this. You're not the only one going through this. You're not the only one feeling this way. Someone else has felt it before and has gotten over it, so you too can get over it. Okay, so basically that is what this is all about. All right, experiences as a mom, experiences as a wife, my experiences from when I was still unmarried. All right, so all this put together is just what I want to share on this channel. All right, so the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun experience, the happy experience, all together is what I'm about, so that I can inspire someone and also so that someone can learn from it. Alright, so guys, I'm here to share my depression story. I mentioned in my last video, that I was going to share my depression story. Actually, last video I talked about how I conquered low self-esteem, and today I would like to share about a phase in my life where I felt very depressed. Alright, so I saw a definition of depression online from an article, and I want to read it word for word, because when I saw the definition, it made a lot of sense. This is what I felt. This was how I felt, and that's why I want to just read what I got from the article. Okay, so it says depression is a constant feeling of sadness and loss of interest, which stops you from doing your normal activities. Then it says something else, that generally depression does not result from a single event, but from a mix of events and factors. So yeah, guys, how did I know that I was depressed? How did it start? It all started when I was not yet married. Okay, it was roughly a year before I got married when someone stole something from me. Okay, I was in my apartment at night sleeping, and I heard a sound, and by the time I woke up startled, I just saw an image outside my room, standing, and apparently he had stolen my phone. Because my phone was charging, so he was dragging whatever. I don't know how he did it, but I just know that I heard a sound, and apparently it was the sound of my charger, my phone charger, hitting the window that woke me up. And it was dark, so just seeing that image there got into my mind. Some people easily move on, like, it's life, move on. And I tried my best to move on from that experience, but it was hard. It took me over a year. Like, this happened in December 2017. I got married in November 2018, and it was like following me everywhere. Now, when that incident happened, I moved out of my apartment. Like, I packed out. My rent was not due. I still had 3 months left, but when I was done, like, I just couldn't stand it, because I think a week later it felt like I heard someone outside my window, and I felt the guy came back. Okay, but what happened was I couldn't sleep so well anymore. I would not sleep with my windows open. I would have to lock the windows, bring down the curtains before I can even sleep. And even before I even got to that stage, a friend of mine was always coming to stay with me. I couldn't stay alone anymore once I moved out of the apartment. Now I moved out, guys, I still couldn't sleep alone unless someone is in the room. Then I can sleep with the windows open. But it was a moment of fear, terror. It looked like the devil even capitalized on that feeling and dealt with me. Like I had the spirit of fear. I was so fearful. At the sound of anything, I would just jump. So I was still dealing with that and trying to find a way to move on. So when I even got married and relocated, one of the major criteria for the house we were going to live in was it has to be like a story building, so that wherever I'll be living would be like upstairs, not downstairs anymore, because which was just a way for me to try and just move on from these things. Okay, so moving on, fast forward to when I got married, then I was still trying to deal with that, yeah, and come out of it. When I got married, and then it looks like I was not settling in so well, okay, because I had to move to a different state. And although, yeah, the state I moved to, which is Lagos State, where I am, I've got families, I've got friends around, but you know how Lagos is, like before you even see someone, before you visit someone, you have to like travel quite a distance. And unfortunately, none of my gang or none of my people stay anywhere around where I live. So if I want to see any of them, it's going to take me over an hour to get to them. So trying to settle into this new environment also got to me. And then the fact that I was already pregnant, yeah, and it was just hard. It was hard. I was trying to find the balance. So it was just difficult. I didn't know how to live in this new environment, and it was making me sad. And so when I got to the point when I was in my third trimester, like where I could really literally not do anything for myself, it was really, really hard. My husband had to go to work. He was only around on some weekends, yeah, so nobody was around to help me. I literally had to do everything, cook, clean, everything myself. And sometimes even if I don't want to do anything, just having someone come visit me or gist with me would have helped. But I didn't have that. I only looked forward to my husband coming back in the evening, and then I just probably finally I have someone to gist with. So it was lonely, it was depressing, it was sad. And before and at that time too, my husband was working shifts. So some nights my husband won't be at home. I won't sleep because I had not dealt with the fear that I had from staying alone or sleeping alone. Okay, so it was so hard. It was so hard. Any night my husband won't be at home, I won't sleep all through the night until 5 a.m. Like I know, okay, it's morning, it's almost morning. So I would just probably be watching a movie or just be awake, just to be alert. And I'll be so scared that even in my own house, I can't even leave the room to go to the toilet at night. It was that bad. So everything just got to me. And then settling in marriage too, it's like living a new life with someone else. Coming from a different background, living with someone from a different background, and then trying to understand, trying to just cope, kinda was very tough. So I found out that I started being constantly sad. Nothing interested me. Thankfully, they had to move my husband to that department, so he was no more working night shifts. So I was getting to see my husband every evening, which was good for me, yeah, somehow. So I always looked forward to him coming back in the evening, and then I just finally have someone to gist with again. So I was just all by myself. To go out was war. I wasn't even interested in anything. I don't want to go out. I don't want to see movies. I don't want to. I like dancing. I like listening to music. Nothing interested me, guys. Nothing. I didn't find interest in anything. Being on social media sucked. Like I was just there. I just had the phone for having sake. What was I even doing with my time? I was only just trying to do my podcast, but it wasn't even as often as I should. It was whenever I found the strength to. So when I had my daughter, thankfully my mom came around and helped me for 3 months, yeah, and then went back. It was still hard. It was still hard. Issues, different issues popping up, personal issues, and all that was really, really getting to me. And then misunderstanding between I and my husband sometimes, like based on on certain issues, still the whole issue of getting to know each other. Our marriage is just barely a year, and thankfully it was almost a year. So we're just trying to find our balance, and it was hard. Now, how did I get over this? Like I said, I got to know that I was depressed when I knew that I had lost interest in everything. Like, I would watch videos of my friends, being happy, and I'm like, I don't know how to be happy. Like, I'm desiring to be this happy, but I don't know how. I was struggling. I needed to be happy genuinely. I wanted the happiness to come from within, not the whole fake smile. This one, I'm like, I'm fine. But deep down, I cry most times at night. I'm sad. I had to start checking the internet on signs of depression, because I was wondering, like, I had to start taking tests to check my mental health. Like, I was taking online tests to know if I was really okay. And honestly, all the tests I was taking was pointing to the fact that I needed help. And so the first move I made was to finally open up to someone. All this while, I didn't tell anybody how I was feeling, what was going on with me. So I found the courage to open up to my closest friend. I did that, and then I found that I was feeling lighter, yeah. And then another move I had to make was when I traveled. I had to go take care of my mom. But the point was, I had to leave the environment that was getting me sad or making me sad. Okay? Gradually, I was already overcoming the spirit of fear. Meaning, I was beginning to sleep well at night without looking at the window constantly to see if I would see an image standing. Okay, so it took me over a year to get to that point. Before I traveled, I found that one of the articles I read talked about, to heal you need to leave that environment, the environment that was making me sad. I didn't like the environment I was in. Okay, so I needed to leave, and I stayed, where I traveled, I stayed there for 3 months, and that was where I totally healed. I totally healed. Like, I was fine. I had to work on my mental health. I had to talk to myself. And guys, I purposely wore this t-shirt. Yeah, this is Fearless. Now, Tim Godfrey does a Fearless concert every year. Okay, and thankfully it was when I was away at my parents' place that the concert held. And guys, that was where I felt liberated. It was an online concert. Okay, I made sure that I joined in from the beginning to the end. How did I get the t-shirt? I won it. I won the t-shirts before the concert. See how God does his things. In fact, this is a constant reminder of what I've been through and how I overcame. That's why I'm wearing this t-shirt. I don't have plans to dash this t-shirt. It reminds me that I'm fearless. It reminds me that I can conquer anything, any challenge, no matter what. I face it head on and I come out victorious. That was how I conquered depression. I talked to myself. I told myself I am valuable. I deserve more. I am more. I'm going to get the more that I seek. I told myself the spirit of fear doesn't dwell in me anymore. And also, it's important to note that my healing also came from building my relationship again with God. Trust me. There are times in your life when you don't feel like praying. You don't want to pray. You don't want to read your Bible. You don't want to do anything. Mentally, I was not strong. Physically, I was strong. But mentally, I was sad. I was depressed. I lost interest in life. Did I think of killing myself? Yes, I did. But once that thought comes, the voice says to me, if you kill yourself without achieving anything in this life, then you've wasted your years on earth. So that alone was not going to make me kill myself, because I know I was made for more. I have a purpose that God wants me to fulfill in this life. So if I die now without even affecting any life, then I've wasted the whole number of years I've stayed. That was what gave me hope. That was what made me cherish my life, because I'm like, I'm not living for myself. A lot of people look up to me. My daughter looks up to me. She was the only thing I would look at and smile. She was like that little ray of light that came in my dark hour, my darkest hour, I would say. So my daughter was one thing, and when I traveled, this was last year actually. This whole thing happened last year. I finally felt free. I worked on my mind. I always affirm myself. I had to write, affirmative words that I read to myself. All those things actually worked. So guys, if you are watching this and you have something going on, in your life, please know that you can actually come out of it. First thing first, it comes with your decision. If you decide it's over, then it is over. Once you tell yourself, I'm tired of living this way, I need help, help will come. First thing I did, I found courage to talk to someone. Second thing I did was I started working on my mind, reading articles that will help me. Okay. Thirdly, I left the environment that was contributing to the depression, to the sadness that I was feeling. Fourthly, I worked on building my relationship with God, and through my relationship with God, I got to see that I was made for more. I got to understand that I am special. I am the apple of God's eyes. And the scripture that says, before I formed you, I knew you. So that made me come to an understanding that there's a purpose God has for me, and I can't die now until I've fulfilled that purpose. So all those things, and then thankfully the fearless contact came at just the right time. That was when I felt liberated from fear, from depression, from sadness. Suddenly the peace of God filled my heart. I felt joy, happiness that I've never felt. Like I am just a happy being. Like in my house, my mother usually say I'm the only one that knows how to hype my daughter to make her dance, because I'm dancing and then she's dancing with me. There's this joy, there's this burden that has been lifted off my shoulder thanks to the fearless content. So this is also me telling Dr. Tim Godfrey, God bless you for always having that concept. You don't know the number of lives that you help. Okay. And really, this is me saying I am so grateful that I finally rediscovered myself. I finally rediscovered my purpose. I'm going to say thank you to my friend. Her name is Onyinye, Mrs. Onyinye Osigwe. I'm saying thank you to my friend Chichi Ogbonaya. I'm saying thank you to my friend Andrea Teke. Those are the people that helped me, constantly feeding me with positive words from God. Yeah, so those three people helped. My mom helped, and then Tim Godfrey and his fearless concept helped me. And then all this would have not worked if I didn't make the decision to help myself and seek help. Alright, so guys, that's it. I'm sorry, I didn't want this video to be long, but well, I had to share. I know that this is going to help somebody. I feel it in my heart that this is going to help somebody. So please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Like this video if you do, give it a thumbs up if you do, and please share this link to as many as you can. You don't know who you'll be helping once they hear the story. This is my testimony. I look forward to sharing it everywhere I find myself, everywhere God takes me to. It's not a story I want to keep to myself. I read something that says your story is not yours to keep, it is for you to share so that lives can be changed and people can feel blessed. Okay guys, so thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share the link. Please make sure you stay safe, and may God keep you.